Hey guys, and welcome back to another Brandenburg guide. Today I'm going to be showing you how to dismantle the HRE by 1450 or at 1450. And if you can pull this off, the rest of your game is going to be super easy as you don't have to deal with that 50% aggressive expansion impact. So you'll want to start off and check if Saxony is a rival. You want to make sure he's not a rival because you're going to need to ally all the electors. You want to look at the electors and see who their rivals are and make sure that if there's an elector that has two of the rivals that you actually ally him first. So this guy's only rivaled to one. This guy's rivaled to not many. Okay, we're just kind of seeing if there's any. Sometimes one like Trier will get rivaled by like two people, so you need to get your alliance with Trier first, kind of thing. But it doesn't look like we have that situation here. So I'm just gonna start with Trier, and I always recommend if Saxony has a rival, you should like for example, he's rivaled to Cologne. Like get Cologne first because Saxony's it's way easier to get your alliance with Saxony than it is with anyone else. So I'm gonna ally to him. I'm gonna wait a day. Ally to him. We're just going to go through. We're going to have some people that have to improve relations with. It's not going to be a huge problem, but so far we have everyone except these two guys. We can get Saxony, Saxony now. So we just need to get the Palatinate, and then for Bohemia we're going to have to do a little trick, but I'll show you that in a minute. So we're going to start improving relations, and of course you can grab your mission here, the Imperial Ambition. It's just going to give you an extra diplomat, which will be helpful. I should have done my states before the month ticked because now I'm going to. Doesn't really matter though, just summon the diet and grab that, and then I'm going to go ahead and seize land, and I will do my normal mana stuff, so mana, religious state, oversight, and religious diplomats. I'm going to do the mana privilege, and then rights of council, supremacy. For the burghers, it's going to be the mana privilege, patron of the arts, and free enterprise. And you want to wait to get indebted to the burghers, because you can't get the event where you buy the provinces if you have loans pre-existing already. We're going to go ahead and just start recruiting a few guys. And one thing to note is Austria is going to have to ally to Hungary for this to work. So if he doesn't ally to Hungary, you're actually, unfortunately, you're going to have to restart. As you see, in my case, he is allied to Hungary, so we're good to go. So you want to look for your first rival war, just kind of your normal rival war for the Age of Discovery, so you can kind of get that aggressive expansion later on. So I would recommend picking someone easy. You can, a lot of times Lüneburg's pretty easy, depending on who he rivals. In my case, it's Mecklenburg. So fighting these two guys won't be hard. So that's probably what I'll do, just go ahead and rival to Lüneburg. I was going to say, you actually want to get your alliance with Poland, which I totally spaced. You want to do that early. Just kind of forgot about that. No big deal, though. And I'm going to start improving relations with Bohemia, rather. And that one elector that wouldn't ally me, which was, who was it again? The Palatinate. So we're going to start improving relations with him. And then now I'm going to go ahead and rival Lüneburg. And you can rival anyone. I'm just rivaling Lüneburg because it's easy in my case. Doesn't matter who you rival, though. And it's probably smarter to rival someone at the end of the month, so they don't have a full month to get more allies like they did in my case. But that's just been max. Anyways, I'll go ahead and declare this war here, humiliate rival, and I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into that. I always recommend going after the secondary target in the war first, so I'm gonna be able to stack wipe him immediately. I should be able to just occupy all his provinces, make sure he doesn't have the ability to recruit any more guys, so he's basically out of the war. And then basically it's just a matter of you can do probably like detach and siege and just walk over and kill him. So, you know, press D, walk over and get the stack wipe on him. You can split up your army and should be easy enough. Now, normally I'd recommend you want prestige, but you're gonna be dismantling the HRE, which will give you 100 prestige. So you might as well just get something else because that's useless to you. So just go ahead and get like trade power or war reps, whatever you want. And then we can go ahead and show strength for this guy. Show strength. Okay, so that's done with. We got this. Of course, that was for the humiliate rival objective here. That's done. Now we want to take another look at our elector situation. One note I didn't mention before: you want to make sure you don't royal marriage anyone, because you're gonna have to break a bunch of these alliances later. Obviously, we're already over the relation limit, and I can also get a Diplo rep guy if there is one. There is one, okay. And then maybe I can like send an insult to his rival, something like that, just to kind of improve those relations. Let's see who's the rival. Baden. Oh, we just send an insult to Baden. So we can get our alliance now with him. It's good, so I believe we have alliances with everyone except Bohemia. Now, for Bohemia wants your province, usually. He always wants Sternberg. So we're just going to let him have it, and then he'll like us, pretty much. But yes, you're just going to sell Sternberg. You actually have to improve relations with him before he'll buy it. So for me, like, I still need to improve relations more for him. It's not ideal that Poland is rivaled to Bohemia, because I want them both as allies. So I'll probably have to break alliance with Poland at some point to make this work, but that's totally fine as well. I'm going to go ahead and drop my alliance with Poland so I can get a better relationship with Bohemia as they're rivaled. And then I'm going to go as soon as I can. I'm going to go and go ahead and sell the province that he wants. You'll notice in the hostile tab, he wants Sternberg. So I'm going to go into relations and go sell province. Where is it? Sell province, Sternberg, and just sell it to him. And then that should greatly change our opinion, or his opinion of me. And once the month ticks there, you see he'll want to ally me. So we're going to go ahead and offer alliance there. And then we're going to offer alliance back with Poland. And then you'll see we need a Jagiellion. If he doesn't do a Jagiellion, I'd recommend that you Alt F4, because you're going to want him to have a Jagiellion to be a bit stronger. But we've got everything we need in place now. All we need to do is wait until the truce expires with Hungary, which is going to be December 1449. So you could even, if you want, turn off your maintenance for a little bit. That should be perfectly fine. Make sure that you do not rival any of this guy's allies, so don't rival the Teutons, for example, or you might lose your alliance with them. So hopefully we're gonna get our event where he sells us these lands though, because he hasn't done it yet, which is it's a little bit late. Alliance breaking. Let's get a royal marriage so our alliance doesn't break. I'm gonna pick some rivals, maybe some like Stettin and Wolgast, and I'm just hoping he gives me the event. I want him to sell those provinces to me, but he hasn't yet, which is weird. I'm preparing for the possibility that he won't sell them to me, and I'll just have to. It's not a huge deal if he doesn't. I'm gonna get claims just in case the event doesn't trigger. I don't know why it wouldn't, but just in case. We're just gonna be waiting till December of 1449, when that truce expires with Hungary. All right, it's getting fairly close to that time, so I'm gonna turn my maintenance. And I would recommend looking for a mercenary group that has good siege ability, rather a good siege general. So in my game, it looks like this guy is a 2 siege. That's probably the best I'm gonna find. So I'll just recruit him. Make sure we get a general in our group as well. Now I would request access from Bohemia, and then I would stand on the border of Austria, basically. You'll see our truce with Hungary has ended, so we should be able, once my maintenance gets a little bit up there, we're probably going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and no CB Hungary, and you'll notice that Poland and Bohemia will go if you promise them land. And we're not actually going to take any land, so it doesn't matter if we do this. So we're just going to call these guys in and go ahead and declare this war. No CB is, and it will hurt your stability a bit. You probably want to get your stability back up, and that should be fine. And basically, we're gonna go to this province here. You can go to 4 speed if you'd like. Go to this province. You just want to make sure you don't lose your guys in Wien. So make sure that when you go here, no one's here. So right there, you see how he would defend there. You kind of just want to wait a bit for him to go to places. All right, maybe now I'll go there. Turn back to 5 speed. That's fine. And basically, I'm just gonna sit here. And once you start sieging the province, you can actually call on your other allies. The important part is that you have to siege everything before he sieges one of your electors. So I could even wait like a month or two. And hopefully it doesn't come for me directly. But I'm going to call my other allies here. Mostly as a distraction. See how he's just getting distracted over there with his guys. That's all good. And unfortunately I didn't get this event, which is odd. Just some weird RNG. It doesn't matter too much though. If anything, we have a way to attack. We're going to attack him anyways. We'll take the provinces anyways. It's not a huge deal. Now, I actually would recommend that you curry some favors with both these guys. Just Poland and Bohemia. Just so we can get some help in the next war, perhaps. So hopefully we siege out this faster than he sieges that out, or we won't be able to dismantle. And that would be quite a nuisance. I just have to unsiege it if he does, but it would be just unfortunate. It's totally going to happen, isn't it? All right, there we go. We sieged out Wien. Go over, and Trier is neither allied or occupied. Did Trier get occupied? Oh, he did. Oh, shoot. Well, maybe, and this can be sometimes if you call on your allies like this, it can be a risk. Oh, he finally made the offer. Jeez, this was late. Okay. So I guess I'll go ahead and take the burger allowance and just go ahead and make the generous offer. Finally got those provinces. I thought he just wasn't going to give them to me, but he ended up doing it. Let's go unsiege this province, because, yeah, that's unfortunate I got sieged out. We got to sneak around here. Yeah, unfortunately, because we probably shouldn't have called in Trier to the war, but we did. We made a bit of a mistake there. Okay, hopefully we can just unsiege this. I think it's just this to unsiege, then we can dismantle. So we're just trying to unsiege this, and then we can dismantle. We're a little later than 1450, but it shouldn't be a huge deal. Of course, if you can get it by 51 or even 52, you'll probably be happy. I've gotten it before at 1450, so definitely doable. Burgundy declared war upon Austria. Interesting. That's all I could say. Okay, so we finished unsieging that. We can go ahead and now dismantle the HRE. And yeah, we'll get that 100 prestige. That should be pretty nice. And we actually can just more or less end this war we're not, obviously we can't take anything, so we can just go ahead and, you know, get some money maybe from Austria, maybe some like war reps, and that should be fine. And probably the same with Hungary. Like, we're not gonna be able to take anything directly. So I would, after this, so yeah, I'd recommend just taking money and war reps from Hungary as well. You're not gonna really be able to take anything. Maybe you can transfer trade power too if you're having a force core like I do. That's fine. So you're just gonna come on top with a bit of money. And now, of course, you have the HRE dismantled. In my game, it's 1452. If I didn't have to siege down my subject, I could have done it by 1450. But either way, I'll show you the next couple moves I would make as well, just to kind of include those in here. So for one, I would fix your relations, right? You don't need to be allied to all these electors anymore. So go ahead and start canceling those. So I'm just going to go ahead and dissolve the alliance between Trier, and then I'm going to dissolve from Cologne. You don't have to dissolve with everyone, but it's probably good. But also start improving relations with Burgundy, because you can get the inheritance pretty easily. And you're going to have to pick a new reform now that you're not, you know, in the HRE. Autocracy is fine. Alliance breaking. Oh yeah, Poland wants me dead or something. What is up with him? Apparently our alliance is breaking because trust. Oh, apparently me not giving him anything in the war there. I didn't realize that counted. Okay, I guess I made a mistake of not giving him anything because now he's upset. I didn't intentionally do that. But I guess me taking money and war reps was... I didn't know that counted. I could have just white peaced him. That's probably what I would recommend you guys do, so you can keep your alliances. So I made a little bit of a mistake there. So I'll go ahead and just attack Wolgast. So I'm going to leave one guy over here to just stop the re-recruitment of this. And then I'll go and do the same with Lundberg. Yeah, I did accidentally lose both my alliances from trust, but that's fine. A little bit of an accident there. So I'm going to leave one... Oh, I can't leave... Well, okay. I'm going to do the same thing with this guy and leave one singular guy to make sure he doesn't recruit anything more. So go ahead and send that guy there, and then we're going to go hunt down him and kind of get this war wrapped up. The Teutons are attacking Wolgast, so I got to get in there quick now because he's doing weird things. Yeah, he's going to try to take provinces. The important part is that we siege the capital because he's trying to cheese us, basically. So we got to get over to the capital before he does, because he's chosen to attack there. And I'm going to let this guy out of here just so I can, yeah, I don't really need him to be there. And then maybe I can help get the other guy out too. Stettin declared war with Wolgast. Everyone's just jumping on board for this Wolgast war. But as long as we have the capital, we'll get the main, you know, the main bit of the war score. All right, well, I'll let East Frisia go home. That's fine. Now that that's over, I'm actually going to go ahead and vassalize this guy. But I'm going to take most of the provinces, I think. Well, I guess I can't take most of them because they're not occupied by me. It's gotten a little weird because of the situation, because the other nations are occupied. But we'll go ahead and just subjugate him. Take some money. And this should launch us into 2 other wars, I would imagine. Which it did. Oh, I didn't want to be standing in the province that the battle is taking place on, but whatever. So I'm just going to call to arms on my allies. And we can go ahead and get this mission done. It's a little awkward that happened the way it did. Because I wasn't quite ready for him to be right there. We may want to grab another mercenary group. So let's grab the Free Company. Because we actually might need... We're like fighting 2 different wars now. And unfortunately we lost our good allies because we didn't give them what they want in the war. Just got mercenary up just a little bit. He's got the Livonian Order in here too. That's why that made it a little bit more difficult. And I'm trying to deal with Stettin before I deal with the Teutons. But I'm out of manpower too, so this is making it a little challenging. We're losing quite a bit of money in turn. Let's try to raise our war taxes. That'll help a bit. Alright, the siege is finally over. So I'm just going to grab these 2 provinces and some money. It looks like somebody left the war. No, Saxony. Oh, Muscovy's attacking him, so he's going to want to be out. Okay, let him go, sure. He's going for my capital, but I'll get his province first, and I'll go back and kill him. Palatinate left. I don't really need anyone else in the war, though. Not really a huge deal. Alright, I'm going to we'll just grab this strength noble privileges for the manpower for the 2nd tier. And you, depending on how greedy you want to be in this war, it's totally up to you. What I would recommend is when you fight these guys, you should definitely take Danzig and Koenigsberg. And you can fight them with your allies as well. Like, so if I hadn't thrown away my alliance with Poland and Bohemia, I could have just called them into the war against the Teutons. But the important part is that you get the provinces you need to form Germany. Or sorry, not Germany, Prussia. So I could end the war right now and just get what I want. Like, you know, I could get this and just these 2 and be good. But part of me wants to be a little bit greedy, so... But we're going to drag out the war. Maybe we shouldn't drag it out too much longer, actually. I can drag it out. I probably just need to take some money to, like, compensate for all this. Yeah, I think we're going to just drag it out, dig deep, and make him pay for it. That seems like a reasonable choice. Yeah, because he can give me 225 or 220 to pay off my loans. That will be more than enough. You know, first I'm taking money to deal with the kind of costing me a bit to make this war work. I guess I'm just going to take these 3 provinces and maybe what else? Maybe these 2? I could technically cut off Poland. It's tempting. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that instead, which is a little weird. But I'm going to cut off Poland and still take... I'm still getting Koenigsberg, worst case scenario. But yeah, you could do something like this in your first war versus him if you want. I just want to make sure that... In my case, I'm cutting off Poland so I can get these provinces later, but I'm also ensuring that I can form Prussia, ensuring that I can pay off my loans. And I'm going to just, you know, use that war to pay off some of those loans because that did cost me a bit. We're still in a bit of debt, but we'll recover. Now that we have our initial moves out of the way, we're going to want to just hang out for a bit, let our aggressive expansion cool down, and we're going to start kind of waiting for our aggressive expansion impacts. So you're not going to war for quite a bit until you have both this perk here and your first espionage idea, which is going to be this. So we're going to just kind of hang out, let our nation cool down. Remember, we got a little bit extra AE because we know CB'd, so keep that in mind. Go ahead and grab my alliance with Burgundy here. I'm going to go ahead and get a royal marriage. Make sure you send a royal marriage. If you accept royal marriage, you won't get the inheritance, but if you send it, it will put your dynasty there, so that's the important part. You can afford an improved relations advisor. I would basically always have this for at least the first part of the game. Try to lower autonomy where possible, as this is just going to give you more money, and you're going to have to fight rebels anyways, so it's not really going to change that. For my first age ability, I'm going to grab this Justified Wars. So if you're in a scenario like this, where you could get your Diplotech to 5, but you're not quite there with admin, I'd actually just hold your points for the first idea group, because you're going to want to get this, this aggressive expansion impact here. So if you're in a situation like this, just feel free to save these points and kind of just wait for your add-on points. You can start getting some CBs for your next war. Start planning ahead. Although, again, we're not going to go to war directly, but maybe just start getting some claims. Now, I'd recommend start currying favors with Burgundy. He's going to be pretty useful. Make sure you try to seize land whenever possible. Even if you're going to get rebels, it's okay. Grab Denmark as an ally, actually. That way I can maybe get him in other wars and go to war with people I want. So I'm just using it as a means to an end. And maybe start currying favors. I'm going to go ahead and get my admin of 5 here. Pick espionage as my first idea group. That's what I recommend you guys do as well. And you can get this thing done. If you've been saving your points like I have, you can get your state propaganda. Now that you have 30% aggressive impact, you can kind of consider going into more wars. But wars you pick are going to be based on your game. For me, there's, this war could be easy. Just find an easy war to do. And if you ally to Burgundy, you can kind of call them in if you really wanted to. My empire's a little bit low, so I'm going to wait a little longer before I go to war. My aggressive expansion is still ticking down. So the goal is to make sure aggressive expansion is always ticking down. Kind of think of it as a waste. Like, if you always want your aggressive expansion to be ticking down, or you're wasting the potential for expansion. Go ahead and grab the free company just to kind of supplement my army just for a little bit. As my empire is low, having the free company will kind of help out. But we're going to look to attach Magdeburg here. We actually could probably have our ally Saxony break alliance with him as well. So we're going to go ahead and just have him do that. Let's see. Favors break alliance with Magdeburg. The Magdeburg should just be on his own, and it'll be a pretty easy war. Gotta be fabricating claims for the next war while you're at the current war. That'll just save you time. You're going to be able to really start conquering a lot because you have super good aggressive expansion penalties and the H race and dismantled, so you're going to be in a really good spot to just kind of ramp up your conquest. On this war here, just anytime you do a war, just remember to take money. Helps out a little bit, but I'm going to grab full annexation some money. Kind of grab this mission here. It shows strength. You won't be able to grab it early because you sold your province. Go ahead and attack the loop back here. Pretty valuable, but I'm actually going to co-belligerate Hamburg and possibly Riga. Yeah, I'm just going to co-belligerate all these kind of trade cities. I'll call in my allies here, and that should be a very easy war. Keep in mind when you co-belligerate and there's no bonus CB, for example, there's no Deus Volt, you can just go ahead and go to the nation in separate piece. It'll be the same. You'll be able to get more money this way. So for example, I would get 11 AE if I took it directly from him, whereas if I took it from Lubeck, it would be that same 11.8 AE, just to compare that for you. So you might as well go and take this. So in this case, I'm going to take Bremen and money. Since I didn't co-belligerate Oldenburg here, I might as well just let him out. I want a short truce because I want to take the province, so just I'm going to white peace. If you want short truces, always white peace. Poland declared upon Bohemia restoration of union. That's kind of bad for me. Keep going through your espionage ideas. Just focus on this for a bit. You'll get this diplomat here, an advisor cost. That's going to be really, really helpful. We just got siegeability, and that's also helpful. Your third reform, it's up to you what you want. You can either expand a real court or centralized monarchical bureaucracy for the autonomy change. So it's basically up to you what you want to do. A lot of times I'll switch to this later, but for now I think I'm just going to go with this for the autonomy change. Since I co-belligerate everyone in this war, I'm just going to go ahead and take their provinces one by one. Separate piece because I want more money. So Riga will give me his province, some money, or rather that was Hamburg. Now Riga will give me his province and some money. And we might want to be just a little less greedy here, actually. That looks good to me, so I'll just leave him with 1 province and take these 4. And call it good. Make sure you get some money. And make sure you don't keep all the forts. This is like 3 forts here. It's a little overkill for you. And I'm already allied to Denmark anyways, so it's not like that fort really does anything. So I'm probably just going to remove these forts. I have to build a few cogs to kind of deal with the rebels. 5 should be okay. Go ahead and start annexing my vassal here. And whenever you annex, I'd recommend giving the policy out first. And that's going to be this policy here. The nobility called Nobility Integration Policy. So you don't get the penalty, the Diplo penalty. And I also want to seize land here. Okay, let's summon the diet and seize land. Now we're above 30 crown land, which is very nice. And I can grab my extra diplomat here. That will feel much better to have 3 diplomats. Here guys a bit of a trick you can use. So in my game, Teutons are allied to Denmark. So I'm also allied to Denmark, but what I'm going to do is call Denmark into a war that can be useful. Using that, I guess I will have to wait, but the plan is I'm going to call them into a war. And then I will declare my other war while we're already in war. And you'll notice Burgundy expands quite a bit when the HRUs dismantle, which is going to be really nice for you, because if you do get the inheritance, you're going to just get, like, you know, all that more provinces, basically. So you actually like for him to expand a bunch. We're just going to wait on Denmark to kind of get out of debt, and we'll go attack Burden when he's in a better spot. Alright, so I got the Burgundian succession here, which is very nice. And what if I got this first try, but I would recommend if you didn't get it first try, you'd probably scum save if you know, the event popped up and you weren't the guy. Gonna be my recommendation. This will obviously is gonna make you much more strong, and it's gonna be a little tough to hold him initially. We can actually fix this too. Like once we integrate our first guy, we'll get rid of that policy that kind of hurts, and then we can kind of like, you know, dev him a bit, and we'll figure it out. I'll go ahead and remove this policy. I can't at the moment, I guess, but we'll remove that integration policy in a bit here. I'm actually gonna wipe these out because this would be my aggressive expansion now, and I don't really want to use my aggressive expansion down in Switzerland. It just doesn't interest me, so I'll just gonna go and take some money. I have a little bit of money in manpower. I got rid of my mercenaries. I'm gonna go up to like 12-4. Be a good start. Nice early game template. And if you have Burgundy disloyal, you can go and dev up his provinces a little bit if you want. Just help with, you know, this gives you less liberty desire. It'll cost you a bit, but you can kind of, you know, if you're willing to pay the price for it, you can kind of get him in check one way or the other. And then maybe you can go ahead and support loyalists. So there you go. I got him loyal. It did cost me a lot of power points to do that, but I should be fine with Miltech anyways, so I'm not really too concerned. That way I can declare wars and, you know, call him into it. But yeah, he's a lot bigger than me to start, so I got the inheritance a little earlier than normal, or maybe it's about normal. Usually I feel like I'm tech 7 before I get the inheritance, but that's RNG based and totally fine with me. A little bit strange to see Austria get bullied by Venice and Hungary because he's excommunicated. Hey, every game's a little different. Do something a little interesting here. I'm going to go ahead and get the burger loans. Oh, I'm already in the burger loans. Okay, well, let's pay off the burger loans and then take the new burger loans. Then I'm going to actually pay off his debt so that he'll get sucked into a war here. Oh, I can get the institution too. That's expensive. Wow. Yeah, let's get it. Now let's throw with Verdun. We're going to call in our allies. But meanwhile, we're actually going to look to attack the Teutons, who we're allied to, but they're not going to basically have any allies left to help them. So yeah, we'll see in this case, the only one that will help him is Livonian, who has 1 province. So I'm going to go ahead and attack the Teutonic Order. Ooh, well, this is unfortunate. I think Sweden's now declaring independence, middle of this war. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I don't want to fight Muscovy. Sorry about that one, buddy. In fact, I'll probably just be fighting Denmark at some point now. I am not helping with his foolish wars there. Anytime you get this Catholic gain Reform Desire, you want to click the event that gives Reform Desire, because you trying to form Prussia, so Reform Desire is always a good thing. And I'm going to let the other people out of this war. And let's see, I can make him a new truce if I need to, but I want a short truce with him, so I'll let him out easily. However, for like Ulm, I'm not going to be... Well, randomly, actually, I'm next to him and I could tech, but anyways, probably just going to take some money in the war reps. Not planning to attack him yet. Eventually, I'm going to want to connect Burgundy's land to my land because y'all inherit him, and it'll be convenient to have our lands connected. So white peace with this guy. Let's make sure he has no annoying allies. He doesn't. So just white peace. I want to attack him later. And then we're just going to take all of Verdun's stuff and some money. You can feel free to be unbalanced when you have espionage because you get this vetting, which is negative 20 corruption. So you could actually go up to 4 unbalanced. So for example, you could be 8 military, 4 diplo, and you're still not going to be in really any bit of a problem. I'm going to go ahead and end this war, though. I'm going to take everything. I might as well take this, too, because if not, Russia will take it. So some money. Upgrade my rank here, which is going to be nice. You want to do that as soon as you can. Give you more gov cap and a couple other bonuses. And I would recommend basically any time in the early game before absolutism, you're always in the burger loans. You'll notice I'm paying like 0.47 for 4 loans. So use the, basically, you should always be in the burger loans early game. Just like no interest, whatever you want to do. Even if you want to upgrade your buildings, just, burger loans could be your friend. It's very viable to just pay off burger loans to take more burger loans too, which is kind of funny concept, but it definitely is viable. Again, exploring autonomy everywhere. You always want to do this. Bit of a rebel sim, but that is Europa. As long as your aggressive expansion is ticking down everywhere, you don't have to feel like you need to expand. You just want to make sure that your aggressive expansion doesn't ever reach 0. So like right now, like I could go to war, but I kind of just want to recover my admin points and that sort of thing. So I'm fine to just do that. Try to seize land as much as possible though in between. Also change your trade if you own, I own a bunch of the Baltic and a bunch of Lubeck. I probably change my trade capital to Lubeck. So I'm going to go and move my trading port to Hamburg. And then I can go ahead and go to trade. I believe, does the Baltic go to Lubeck? So we can go ahead and just transfer trade here. Also transfer from Saxony. There we go. That'll make our trade scenario a bit better. We're just transferring from the Baltic and Saxony to our new home node in Lubeck. We get mill 8. And as I mentioned, don't be worried about having the 4-away unbalanced. If you have espionage, you're golden. As you can see, I get a negative 20, but I also have a positive 20. So totally fine to just focus your idea and get a little behind the Diplotech. So I like to grab this curtail clerical privileges as my 4th reform. You'll notice my autonomy is pretty good. I'm an average of 1.15. My autonomy is very low around the nation. It's kind of where you want to be. And once you have tech 7, you should probably add 4 cannons to your army. I like the 1244 is a good template. In my case, I could have a second army as well. I just kind of not there, manpower or financially. So I'll declare with Mecklenburg and co-belligerate Brunswick. And in the HRE, the golden rule I have is don't take provinces that are co-belligerated, that are not co-belligerated. So if you're in your menu here, if they have the red flag, basically, you shouldn't be taking their provinces, especially in the early game, because you're just kind of wasting potential conquest. Fortunately, this guy's getting attacked by another nation. A little bit annoying when that happens. Alright, so my espionage is done. That's pretty nice. I can start working on my ideas here to kind of stop being unbalanced. Unfortunately, this guy took a bunch of this guy's land before I could get it. So it wasn't the most ideal co-belligerate, but I'm going to just kind of white piece out some of these guys. More so I just want to get them ready to conquer later for myself. So now that I've successfully white pieced out everyone else, I'm going to go ahead and take these provinces here. Get some more reps. War reps, some money. I do want to sneak to Tech 7, so I'm going to be, even though I can't core this stuff way out, I do want to get to Tech 7, pick up offensive ideas, start getting some of these ideas. You actually want to get your capital dev. I kind of put this off more than I should have, but you want Berlin to get a 25 dev so you can get that mission done. I should have done this earlier, but I'll go ahead and dev it up a bit now. There we go. I got it to the dev I want, and then I think you just need some buildings. It wants me to have a workshop and a temple. So I think I have a temple. I just need to grab a workshop. Notice this gives you +1 monthly admin power, basically till the end of the game. It says in the mission that if it gets sieged down, they'll lose it. But in my case, I've seen it get sieged down and not lose it. So maybe that's just me. But anyways, you should also get the power of the Junkers after that. It's going to give you 1, this is super good, -1 yearly army tradition decay till the end of the game. And I do feel comfortable focusing military now. Getting offensive done is very good. It'll help you with siege ability and as well make your generals better and that sort of thing. Colonialism is here. It's the 1500s. And hopefully the Reformation will get here eventually. It's only at 77%, so it might be a few more years. Hopefully it gets here eventually and we can switch to Protestant. And I'm actually, as I mentioned before, you almost always want to be in the burger loans. So I'm going to go ahead and take the burger loans and probably just dev up or build some buildings rather. So I'm going to go and dev to the burgers. And I'll go ahead and build up some production buildings and then build up some churches. It's just going to help your economy. Try to build what's the most valuable first, back and forth between those two. That's going to be pretty nice. You can also build some trade buildings in a minute, just when you want to have a little bit more money. Here we go. Should be at least build one in Berlin. And when you're doing a military idea, make sure you're not behind in tech. I'm on the edge here where it's like, oh, I maybe should save points, but I still think I'm going to get an idea. But if you're only like 20% ahead or something like that, you'll want to just save for the tech and wait to do the idea. You can't just straight focus it like you might be able to with another one. I'm going to go ahead and attack here and co-belligerate Cologne. And do focus on the provinces for your mission. So, for example, you want to get this worked on next. So kind of look at your mission tree, but look at the next missions too and be like, okay, so I need a bunch of the provinces from Cologne as well. So that's win-win. And I always recommend just kind of driving home the point. Improved Relations Advisor is super, super helpful. You should have it all the time. Try to keep your stability at 1 as well for the prosperity throughout the game. And I forgot to do this, but like, I'm super late to this, but you're supposed to get, or I usually get the advisor costs, guys. I just totally has faced that. Usually I wait to get one stability, then I grab the advisor cost guys, but I just kind of forgot I didn't do it, more or less. I can let the non-co-belligerent targets out. Again, I don't take these promises from non-co-belligerent enemies, so yeah, we can just fight peace. Maybe we want to attack those guys later, who knows. And I think it can be really nice not to pick an admin idea for your first 2 ideas, just because, as you say, I'm still behind, just because you have to core so much. Since I co-belligerent Cologne, of course, I would recommend talking to him and grabbing everything I want, and make sure you have no coalition. You'll see it over here, of course. But take money, so that way I can get kind of more money. They're kind of the max money. I won't be able to get Cologne, as you can see, because I don't connect it to it in any way. So I'm just going to take what I can get and go. And now I can go to Oldenburg, grab that money, and the war. Technically I should wait for Nasu, so I'll do that, because I want to attack Nasu in a bit. So basically getting a big old truce wouldn't be good. Like were we excommunicated? That would be not ideal. We may have been excommunicated, boys. We were. That was a mistake. I should have improved relations with the top controller, because, whatever. I could actually select this, and this will give more. Yeah, I'm just going to select this. I'm going to go Protestant anyways, so it's like whatever. But this will give a little bit reform. Catholicism gains reform progress, so we'll do that. Okay, Nazi was killed, so I guess don't have to worry about that being an issue. But I'm going to go and take Oldenburg and some money. And keep an eye on your aggressive expansion as well. Mine's getting a little bit up there, maybe. It's not too bad, actually. It's only like 25. So how about I go ahead and attack this guy here. Berg's on you. Let's just do something like that. We're gonna co-belligerate Gulsar S, so kind of these guys, and just go for it. And it's so I'm gonna go ahead and go to them and take their provinces and their money. I can just talk to them directly. This costs a little bit more Diplo points to do it this way, but it's totally fine. Being behind in Diplo feels like the least impactful problem that you have. Again, follow your co-belligerate rules. Mainz isn't co-belligerated. And I want to attack him later, so white peace. Check his alliances. He's nothing annoying, so white peace. And that'll be the same for Berg. However, Gulsar is different. We did co-belligerate him, so we can go to him and take his province and some money. Just always keep your eye on this coalition flag. Again, mine's not too bad. I'm going to white peace Berg again. Short truces. Finally, we will go to end this war with him, take money. You kind of dismantle some of these forts. Like, everyone has a fort, but you don't want a million forts. Keep some where you can afford it, but, it's, up to you completely. Try to remove some of the useless ones. Most likely you'll have to grab military 9 and pay more for it because you won't get colonialism for a while, so that's just kind of normal. Alright, we got the Duchess of Burgundy dies. This is pretty normal to get. What I like to do here is a little bit painful, but I usually grant all 3 of the land rights, which will, yes, screw up your GovCap a bit. Or sorry, your GovCap. It fixes your GovCap. What it screws up is your crown land. The reason that you're going to need to do this is because you're going to have, like, tons of stuff, and you want to state it all. Again, you want that lower autonomy. So you want to portal up after you grant those privileges. I think we should be okay. Hopefully we're okay to do this and I'm not going way overboard here. We'll find out. Okay, I'm still quite a bit overboard, so that's a little bit of a problem. Didn't realize that I would still be that overboard, but actually once we get tech 7 we'll be good. We just need to not attack for a bit. We might need to get rid of our advisors. We're going to be paying a lot more for our advisors now. But we have cheap advisors, it's probably okay. But we do need to probably sort our armies, because we have like way more armies than we did before. So perhaps I will create that template and fix up my armies just a little bit. So I'm going to do this template here, 1244, call it 20. Go ahead and kind of consolidate the template, get rid of 2 extra guys, do this twice. So that way I have kind of clean stacks of guys that in groups that I like. So I have 60 guys. What will help eventually is you're going to become a kingdom, and that will increase your capacity a little bit. But for now, we are kind of just locked into being in an odd spot where we are definitely over our GovCap. So what I'm probably going to have to do is expand my administrator just a little bit. So I'm going to expand it 3 times. I don't really like doing this, but in this case, it's just kind of going to need to happen. And when I get that plus 100, I'll be within range, and that will be better. I'm going to seize land, trying to get my crown land back above 30 after I get granted all those land rights. As for normal, I'm going to lower autonomy everywhere. I wish the Ottomans would oh, they will ally me. Speaking of, okay, that'll be helpful. I'm going to give my balance of power. So let's try to curry favors with him. Hopefully he's not in super debt, so he actually will help me. Yeah, he should be able to help me later. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is something you can do with your trade guys is if you want, you could go to established communities. This is just going to help with your aggressive expansion. Every little bit helps. I got my admin to 8 now, so I got that little extra capacity. Now we're back in a spot where we're not over GovCap. So the important part is my next war, I want to take enough land to move up to that next rank and get to kingdom. I'm just about to get the siege ability here, which is going to be super helpful in combination with the already 10%, so I'll have 30% extra siege ability. That just makes things really nice when you're doing wars. My plan here is to attack Munster and club Legiocles. That create a connecting path here. England's guaranteeing, which is annoying, but we're just gonna have to kill him. So what do? Yeah, we need to try to push through like ASAP because they're sieging out all our provinces over here. This is getting quite annoying because I can't get to these lands. All these stupid forts. But yeah, we're gonna have to like re-siege everything. Locked by a bunch of forts. Okay, I'm trying to get these other guys out of the war. Make this less annoying. So let's get Berg out of the war. Make sure he annuls with... it doesn't really need to annual with anyone. Just, you know, get him out. Let's actually, we need some prestige though. So maybe we can like make him end friend rivalry. No. Just take some money. Can't be too greedy where this is a tough war actually. But yeah, the more people out of this war, the better. Okay, the mains war should be over. Alright, so I'm gonna make him get like 10 prestige from him. And now we're just fighting the main war people now. Which is basically like England and Munster. Yeah, this war is pretty annoying. I need to let my guys replenish a little bit too. I'm slacking a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna slacken a little bit here just to try to help my situation a bit. It's a tough war, honestly. I'm just gonna take Cleves here. Some money. He wants white peace. There's no way, buddy. Yeah, all my Burgundian lands are getting sieged. This is a rough war. Part of me just says maybe I should just make him a duel with England and then come back, like take another stab at it in 5 years. Yeah, maybe I think unfortunately war's harder than I wanted it to be. So I was just gonna have to make him a duel treaties with England, and then I'll take another stab at it in a few years. I'm gonna ally to Scotland just so I can get that access if I want to fight England more effectively. I'm just gonna have to recover from this war for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Miltech to 10 here. Protestant Reformation is just showing up here, so that's really nice. We're going to pretty soon here switch into Prussia. Okay, the Dutch revolt is going to be here. About to move my capital here. This will stop the revolt or the disaster. I'm going to be forming Prussia in just a moment. Guaranteed by England. That's so annoying. Like England's cock blocking me. I'm actually going straight to war with England. I've decided. This is personal, guys. England's trying to slow me down, and it has become personal. Like England needs to pay. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm sick of his bullshit. I'm in 10 here, and I'm actually going to swap to Protestant. Oh, before I do that, actually, I don't want to do that because my prestige is going to take a big drop. And I'd rather get to an emperor, whatever, ship first. So let's sort that out first. So what do we want to do? Maybe like attack Saxony. Yeah, that seems fine. We're gonna attack Saxony, get in a little better situation before we go Protestant. Okay, for my next idea group, I'm gonna pick religious. It's gonna help with we're obviously going Protestant, so getting days full at some point is gonna feel good. I'm gonna grab another 20 guys, and yes, the plan. I'm gonna land in Scotland with a bunch of guys, and just we're gonna fight England on his home turf. See how he likes it. So I'm gonna go to war with this guy. And I guess I'll be fighting Bavaria. And if you get close to reform, I'm actually not gonna pick it because I'm gonna have to switch my reform when I get to Prussia. Yeah, I don't really care. Just white piece. Actually, we need to farm some prestige though, so we're gonna have to figure out how to do that. It might be just like attacking people just for prestige. But I'm gonna just grab full annexation if I can. Okay. No coalition. That's good. I get 20 prestige. I just need like 5 more. How do I get 5 more prestige? I guess I'm just gonna attack Anhalt just to get some prestige. I don't really care to take its provinces necessarily, but we are gonna attack Anhalt to get a little bit more prestige going. We need 75. Like France, England, and Spain are all doing very well, and they're all my rivals. So is Poland. So this game's actually still pretty interesting, even though I'm doing really well. How about concede defeat? Okay, we're just gonna make him concede defeat for 10 prestige because we need to get our government rank up. There we go. And then we can go ahead and become Prussia and that sort of thing. So we're just gonna switch our religion. It's gonna cost us a bunch of prestige, and then we can go ahead and form the Kingdom of Prussia. Hit yes, please. And you're gonna want to switch your government reform off of the Prussian government reform because, as you can see, I'm gonna be double my gov gap, which is not ideal. But yeah, I'm gonna go to autocracy. I'm gonna start converting. And I should probably get some of these things done that we're gonna help with missionary strength. But we do have a bone to pick with England, who's apparently at war with France. I want to fabricate a claim on like, it'd be easy to fabricate a claim on like Friesland or something, because I'll get the war score very easily, or the war goal very easily rather. So I'm gonna sail up, guys. I don't have manpower, but I really want to go because he's at war with someone else. But I'm gonna sail my guys up into Scotland. We're just gonna put 40 guys up there. I have a Scotland to help me too, but so I'm gonna declare war with England, make it Friesland the war goal, call in the Ottomans, call in Scotland. Have 1,000 manpower, but he's at war with someone else, so I'm hoping that I can take it. That will be good for me. Just gonna war with him here. And of course, I'm already up here, so we're going to be pushing in to his mainland. But we're sieging down London at this point. We've already sieged down Friesland. I'm going to cancel military access with Munster and actually murder him now. So that England can't, you know what, while England's already at war with me, we're going to kind of get a revenge on him as well. Alright, we're gonna attack Munster here. I think Venice will go home, so I'll just let him go home. Maybe I should make him a Newell. Nah, it's fine. I forgot that, like, I should be the Defender of the Faith. And I will, yeah, we should do that. Can we do it while we're at war? Yeah, let's just take loans to do that. Kind of forgot about that. But I should be converting a little faster with Defender of the Faith. Also, I can get my extra missionary here, so now we have 3 missionaries. Actually get some converting going. Okay, so I'm gonna end this war here. Take everything and some money. Sweet, sweet revenge, guys. Feels great. Munster giving me a kind of being a bitch in the last war. More so it was England, but I'll blame him in part. But we'll drag it out, England. We're in no hurry. We're in no hurry whatsoever. Don't you worry. Alright, I'm gonna have Portugal and Newell with Spain and England. And England's gonna suffer. That's the important part. England will pay. Alright guys, so I'm gonna basically take Calais and these provinces that he has no right having, and then London, because this is a revenge war. So London's mine, officially. And then maybe some money, and that should be good. Alright, that does feel great. I have to admit, that feels great. I'll wrap this up here, because we're at a pretty good stopping point. We're #1 great power. It's 1529. We're definitely dominating there, but this campaign is actually interesting because there's so many other people that are dominating. Like Poland's massive, France is doing really well, Spain's doing really well, England was doing well, but then I had to get revenge. Anyways, if this video reaches 200 likes in the first week, I will continue, do a part 2, and that'll just help me gauge whether you like, you know, the likes will help me gauge if you're liking this content. If you are, I'll continue the series, and if not, we'll move on to something else. As always, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing if you haven't.